I'm sorry, I was looking behind me because my wonderful... He's discovered the Christmas tree. This could be bad. Fluffy. Gotta come away from the Christmas tree, but we'll sort that out in a minute. Sorry I'm a little bit late today. My train home was delayed, so annoyingly my commute took way longer than it should have done. But we're here for another day of STPL. It's been a little bit before I've casted properly still, so give me a little bit of time to ease back into it. It's kind of difficult, and then I'm off again on Friday because I've got a Christmas party to go to. So that's basically what's going on. We're going to be heading into two series today. Starting us off is going to be White versus NiCe. So let's quickly introduce both of our teams. As a matter of fact, just quickly, we'll show the team rankings. Attacking the tree, which is good. But you can see they were the results at the end of week 8. We are going to finally get started with week 9. Our two of our teams here, one of them is one of the bottom teams, one is one of the top. Their scores are pretty much completely inverted, so obviously White Clan on 6 wins, NiCe Clan on 2, but all is still to play for. In terms of player rankings, I don't actually believe there was any changes on that from before, so just another quick look. You'll see that Soul, NetWars, and NiCe, well, an IRK and White Clan are the 5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 teams. So we've got 5 teams in the top 10 of players. Obviously this is just their ELOs, so it's not the biggest of deal. It doesn't mean too much in the grand scheme of things, but it's always good to see how well some of our foreign players are doing, as well as some of our Korean players as well. You can see that, I mean, DeWalt's got a crazy win rate, and so is Scan, so is Noob. That's why they're in the top 3. Not much else to say there. Let's have a look at today's matchup. So NiCe were one of our newer teams for Season 2. They are having a little bit of trouble. And Hit 'em Up has made use of my channel points. He said he just wanted to spend those things, but feel free to ask me any question as long as it's not too crazy. But White Clan, obviously one of our better teams, 2nd place finishers in Season 1. And obviously a lot more stable. NiCe are definitely going through a few problems right now, but hopefully they'll make it to the end of the season. It'll be a shame to see them gone. I don't think they'll probably come back for Season 3. But they've been a good team. They've been fun to watch. We're going to have a ZVZ between Essen and Fairy. We're going to have a TBT between Astro and Bai. We're going to have a PvP between Master and Jew. And we're going to have a ZVZ between Giella and Sak. And one thing I will say is it's kind of funny how we've ended up entirely with, you know what, is this going to work? No, it's not going to work. I was going to rotate something, but it doesn't work because I need to rotate like 10 different things. We're going to complete mirror match. So hopefully if you guys don't like mirrors, hold on, we've got a second series coming up after this. I reckon in the grand scheme of things this could be one of the quicker series we have, just because of how good White Clan are and how much trouble the NiCe have been in recently in terms of their games haven't gone too well. They've had a little bit of inactivity problems, and I believe a couple of people have left their clan. So either way, let's get in and have a look at this game. Our first map is going to be the wonderful Neo Arkanoid. I know there's many people who love this map. We've only had 2 ZVZs here before. Essen, who's playing in this game, has played in both of them so far. One of the only Zergs who's really took to this map. And this has actually ended up being really balanced if you look at the stats, which is kind of cool. But in terms of ZVZ, Essen won 1, lost 1. Essen was in fact the player who showed me just how easy it is to break through the middle with Lings in the beginning of the game. So I'm not sure if we'll see that build from him again, but it'll be kind of cool if we do. Let's actually introduce both of our players quickly. For NiCe, we do have Essen. He's got a 62% win rate, so doing pretty well. He has played a lot of ZVZ. He's actually played 4 of them out of the 7 games he's played, and he's 2 for 2. So, in fact, that's 8 games that he's played. So over half of, well, half of his games have been ZVZs. And his opponent for White Clan is going to be Fairy. Now, Fairy, more of an active user in Season 2. Didn't really play in Season 1. Was in fact an ex-Height Sparkies pro. We're talking quite far back in the day though. Still a very respectable semi-pro. Well, I say semi-pro, I guess he's more... He is technically, I guess you'd call him an ex-pro. So in terms of ex-pros, he's still pretty good. 66% win rate, only played 2 ZVZs, 1 for 1 in those. He did lose to Spire from Seoul. But it should be cool. Let's get into the game. It's game number 1 of NiCe versus White Clan. It's Essen versus Fairy. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position. In the blue, we do have Fairy fighting for White Clan all the way from South Korea. And his opponent spawning down here at the bottom right-hand side of Neo Arkanoid. It is in the red, fighting from, I believe, Canada. No, it's the United States of America. It's Essen fighting for NiCe. Now, I'm going to have to go a little bit easier on my voice today. I don't want to go back to how I was 3 weeks ago. And essentially, the problem I've had is after Monday, I've had a little bit of a cough again. So I'm trying to be as careful as possible because the last thing I want is to be ill again, especially with Christmas coming up as well. So if I'm not as hype as what I have been before, not that my voice is very hype anyway, that'll be why. But Essen is going to do the build we saw from him before on this map, twice before. Once it worked, the second time it didn't. Third time's the charm here for Essen because he's going for a 12 hatch. Sorry, that was a 9 hatch even, at his neutral temple at the beginning or the front of the map. And the good thing about this is it means you get a ton of lings, and lings kill these buildings incredibly quickly, deceptively quickly actually. You would have thought it'd take forever for lings to be able to get over the map, but they can't. And luckily enough for Essen as well, he's going to scout where his opponent is. He's not going to see Fairy in the bottom left, but he will see the Overlord, and that's all he needs to see to make this build work. Now, Fairy did go for a more conventional 12 pull into a 12 gas. You kind of do want to go for some lings early on just because you do have these Chrysalis blocking your expansion. I know Dog Holiday complained about this on on the Pylon show, but it's cool. And Fairy is going to go for an expansion. Now, the expansion could end up hurting Fairy, but it could actually end up helping. Essen is on a timer here. If this does not work, we'll find out in the next probably 2 to 3 minutes, I would say. And if it doesn't work, Essen is 100% going to lose the game. And if it does work, Essen is going to win a very, very fast game. Now, I know that sounds very, very obvious, but it's worth saying, because you never know. Now, you can already see Essen has seen the Overlord, which is good. Now, watch how quickly this building dies. Like, you would think it would take a lot longer to kill, but no. No, it doesn't. Normal temples die very, very fast to lings. And the other building in the middle is these power generators, and they also die incredibly quickly, so watch this. So it's a... Let's say Essen started attacking these about 2 minutes 50. I would say maybe 2:55. And let's see how this is going to go and how quickly Essen can get to his opponent's base. Now, Fairy is going for a lair, playing perfectly standard, skipping out on ling speed though, I believe. I don't think ling speed is done because of how high the gas is at the moment. And that could be a problem, because lings with speed against no lings, slow lings even, is not good. And that's definitely going to be a problem. With no speed on the way whatsoever for Fairy, there's not going to be any form of sunken, because why the hell would there be? And Fairy's not going to see this. Essen's going to win again with this crazy strategy. Now, the temple's going to go down. Fairy still not scouted this just yet. The Overlord's not going in the right position. And this is going to work. Looks like Essen's going to be able to win this game within the next couple of minutes. Now, Fairy isn't 100% dead, but I mean, this is so many Lings, so little time. And Fairy's not really going to have too much chance here. There's no speed, there's no Sunkens. Oh, wow, actually going for double creep colony down here and the hatchery, but the Lings are already coming down. They know someone's up, they've seen the base. And there we go, this is going to be it. Fairy's trying to stay in. This is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime build. Fairy will never lose to this build on this map again. GG, Fairy taps out, and Essen takes game number 1. So, I mean, it's not often you get to see ZBZ on Neo Arkanoid, and Essen has taken part in every single one. He's now 2-1 on this map, and he's done the same build 3 times, so people need to get used to what he's going to do, because if he's just going to do the same build all the time, just prepare for it, you know? There's no excuse, but I mean, maybe Fairy didn't think he needed to worry about it, because in Fairy's eyes, he is an ex-pro. Maybe he's like, I don't need to worry about some low-level foreigner. Essen says otherwise, and I don't know what level Essen is, by the way, so saying he's low level is maybe a little bit unfair. But we're going to be heading into a TBT when we get back after this. Wait, there's no point going to break. Come on, I've been casting for 4 minutes. If I need a break after this, I'm going to be casting all day. Let's introduce our next map. Then we'll introduce our next players while I load up the replay. So our map here is going to be casted 3. It is going to be another mirror. It's going to be a TBT. We've had 5 of them so far. All the matchups apart from TVZ on this map have been fairly balanced. Not quite as balanced as Neo Arkanoid, which is kind of strange, but it is a 2-player map, very easy to split down the middle. So we could very, very well have a very long TVT here. Astro's already played on this map, and so has Bai. Bai actually lost to Hit 'em Up, and he also beat Pinkbrush. So this is Bai's 3rd game on this map, Astro's 2nd. Astro and Bai have both won the same number of games here, so not really too much to say about that. But let's introduce both the players just so we can see who they are. Astro, the one and only, I believe, Australian player in the STPL. 40% win rate for him. Not too many games have been played. And his opponent is going to be Bai. Now, Bai is one of the top players in the STPL. At one point, his win percentage was 100. He went 10-0, I think it was, before he finally lost a game, and I think that was when he played against Scan. So Bai has played a lot of games. He's in the top 20 in the STPL rankings. Now, TVT hasn't been his strong point. He has 2 wins, 3 losses, and he recently lost against both Hit 'em Up and Medinho, so this could be another win for NiCe if they play their cards right here. In our 2nd game, it's a TBT between Astro and Bai. Okay, now TVT, one of my favorite matchups. You know what? I'm going to stick with red and blue for this one. But starting us off in the top right-hand, or top left-hand corner, sorry, in the red. Man, I'm trying to do too many things at once here. Starting us off in the red in the top left-hand position is the white clan player Bai from South Korea. And starting us off down here in the bottom right-hand position, we do have Astro fighting all the way from Australia, fighting for NiCe. Now it is going to be a TBT, which obviously a lot of people I know are not a massive fan of, but if you've seen some of the TBTs that we've been playing so far, we've had some incredible games in this matchup, and I'm looking forward to this one especially because Bai, he's lost 2 TBTs in a row against non-Korean players. And there's a lot of pride on the line for him here because realistically, like amateur Koreans and sort of high-level foreigners, it depends. Obviously, there's different tiers of amateurs in Korea. Obviously, Scan is definitely a cut above like someone like Eon Zerg, but when you get kind of like the mid-tier Koreans, the mid-tier amateur Koreans, like they even Scan can bleed to foreign players. It's not like Koreans are completely unassailable, but I think there's a lot of pride in the fact that Koreans feel like they... I mean, I don't know this. If Custom is in chat, maybe he can say, but I don't think that Korean players like losing to foreigners too much, because at the end of the day, it's weird to say this like this, but like when a game is like almost a national sport in your country for almost 10 years, there's a lot on the line when you think about that, because a lot of Koreans don't even realize people outside of Korea play this game. And I know that sounds like hyperbole, but it's not. Like, the amount of times I've, especially with Kadenti when she went to Korea, like, the amount of times that I know that people have asked her, like, wait, people outside of Korea play this game? It's crazy. Like, people just don't seem to realize that it has a fan base. I know it's not massive. We can help grow that. We can do that by hosting more tournaments, hosting more events. Now, Astro being a little bit annoying with his SCV, trying to delay the factory as long as possible. Bai has pulled out of gas, so is Astro, so both of them just going to be going for a factory expand here, which is very, very standard. Now, one thing, guys, if you've not noticed, there's been an update to Twitch recently, which has added channel points. You can unlock a bunch of emotes through it. You don't have to sub to get the emotes anymore, so you can spam the STPL does emote and stuff. Or you can ask me anything if you want to spend them, but essentially, the way they work, from what I can gather from watching other channels, is it just ticks up the more you watch, so you'll get tons of them by the end of it all. Now, just while we've got a little bit of a lull in the game, I just want to say a massive shout out to our sponsor, Liquipedia, for adding $500 towards the initial prize pool. I know when you compare that to something like how BSL is doing, where they've got like a thousands of dollar, I think it's like a $5,000 sponsorship, as well as the $800 from Liquipedia. At the end of the day, every little helps, and we are slowly moving our way up. STPL Season 2 has done a lot better so far than Season 1 has. The prize pool is a little bit lower at the moment. There is still a ton of codes unused on Matcherino, so when that Matcherino link gets spammed by Moobot, slam your button down on it, put in the code LSTPL, and you can add 50 cents to the prize pool, courtesy of Matcherino as well. And if you want to help out the STPL and you can't do it monetarily, and you've already used the codes, what you can do is you can help on Liquipedia. Liquipedia is a fantastic resource for not only Brood War, but also many, many other esports. And it started with Brood War, and it's certainly, we don't want Brood War's Liquipedia to end. So if you can contribute to help Liquipedia in any way, anyone's able to edit with the Team Liquid account, please do. It'll be a massive, massive help. Now, we've got both players expanding, pretty much doing exactly the same build. No, we've actually got no armory coming up yet from Astro, so he's going to delay his armory, which means we'll see later Goliaths. And that's because he's actually opening speed mines, so that's the difference between him and Bai's play here. Bai playing a lot more conventional, going for those quick siege shanks, and gonna likely go into tank Goliath very, very quickly here. Yeah, starting a Goliath just in case. But with this barracks flying in, he's gonna know there's no Wraith to worry about, so he'll probably just stop on one Goliath for now. Second gas is already up for Bai, whereas Astro has skipped his for a while, and that's purely because of the fact he wants to get the factories out quicker, and Vultures of course cost no gas, so Astro does need to be careful. You don't want to fall too far behind in upgrades. Obviously, Bai isn't necessarily going to go for his upgrade right away. Just wanted this early anti-air to push the barracks away. And also, Goliaths are very, very good against Vultures early game. Now, one other thing to note is on Sunday at 2100 CET, we are going to have another, it's kind of another tournament, kind of not. It is the STPL Christmas Cup #2. I'm not going to do a full cup like I did last year, just because where I've been ill, I kind of run out of time to do all the stuff I wanted to do for it. So what we're doing is we're doing a $30 plus Winners League show match. If you don't know what Winners League is, essentially it's King of the Hill. So it's a best of 7 between NetWars and Ash. The starting 2 players are going to be Zero and Dreamer, and it should be a lot of fun. We've got all Ice World maps. There's some really crazy ones in there like Gorky Island and Battle Royale, but we've also got some very standard ones like Whiteout, Talcross. El Nino is pretty standard, even though it was replaced by Great Barrier Reef, and Hitchhiker from Season 1 as well. So there's going to be lots and lots of cool games to be played there, I'm hoping. I'm really hoping it's close. I picked NetWars and Ash because I think currently they're 2 of the closest teams in terms of skill level. If we have some more time over Christmas, if another team are available, another 2 teams are available as well, I'll try and do a second one. But it's certainly something a little bit new for me. We did do the Captain's Clash, but this is the first time I'm going to be able to show off the overlay properly, because I kind of showed it off before it was a little bit, well, before it was ready. I wanted to prepare a little bit where I was ill, I didn't. So that's all. But we've got Astro taking up a pretty good position with a lot of mines. Bai is going to move across and try and take a very quick third base, but does need to be careful, because as he moves out on the map, all of these vultures are going to head in. And if you lose all of your SCVs, that's a massive deal in a TVT. And it takes 3 vulture shots to kill an SCV. There are tanks spawning, which are going to help. But how many SCVs is Bai going to have to lose to make this happen now? Oh my god, if my drag wrongs there, that could be very, very bad. Oh, okay, that could have been bad. But luckily enough, he doesn't lose too many. Astro does take the supply lead with SCVs for now. Obviously, his tank count is much, much lower. This was very much a do or die situation for him, but he's going to push forward with tanks of his own into the middle, try and siege up outside of the natural. Nice tank split there actually, but does need to be careful, doesn't want to lose these tanks. Gonna siege on the high ground, but not really enough units up here anymore, so this isn't the best position for this tank to be in. But let's see what reinforcements coming in. We've got 2 more tanks, a bunch of vultures, but oh, that mine. Oh my god, 1 more mine. Oh, okay, this is dangerous territory here for Bai. Mines from Astro doing a ton of damage, but just look at the tank count. Wait, oh no. Oh, okay. Oh, that was tough. But looks like these tanks are going to get cleaned up pretty well by Astro. He's going to trade pretty nicely. He is going to retain his supply lead, but Bai losing a ton of tanks there, actually down to only 4 at the front. An additional 2 are just coming out the base now. But Astro's not actually in a terrible position. He's doing really, really well against such a strong opponent. Now let's check the factory count. I believe we're on so 5 factories here for Astro. He's got +1 attack just coming in. We've got +1 attack a little bit further on, and 5 factories for Bai as well. So even factory numbers. Gonna make it quite easy to move around the map and trade pretty well. So Bai is gonna try and go and cut off this base and allow him to take it himself. The way this map splits is usually horizontally, so if you can take these side bases, the one at 9 o'clock and the one at 3 o'clock, you can get a really big advantage later game. So positionally, I would definitely give Bai the edge, because Astro, even though he's got the tanks here, he's blocking off this middle bit. But Bai's going to be able to secure 2 bases behind this, so he's definitely in a better position. People are highlighting messages. Add Lost Temple to the map pool, says Marine Medic Orgy. And Hit 'em Up says add Neo Requiem and Lost Temple to the map pool. You never know, Retro Feeling could get into the STPL. I really enjoyed that map, so we may get like a Lost Temple-esque map, but maybe not Lost Temple. Lost Temple would just be TVT all the time, surely. I mean, that'd be heaven for me, right? I love TVT, but it's a bit much. One of the funny stories that you guys may not know, I may have told you before, but when I was making the Season 2 map pool, I really considered putting in Sparkle. And I was like, we've got so many semi-island maps already, if I put Sparkle in as well, I'm going to be casting for like 6 hours a day. So, oh, that mine was a good one. Okay, so Bai is securing his third base, Astro is securing his. No fourth base just yet for Bai, but he should really take that as soon as he can. Astro going to be able to push through in the middle of the map. The one problem that Bai actually is going to have now is he lost a lot of his tanks once again. So Astro's going to push forward here. Nice splitting of his tanks so far. And unsiege tanks against siege tanks are pretty good as long as you've got enough numbers. He's going to be able to deny the third base here if these vultures can't do anything. Oh, the mine laying going to be very, very pivotal here. Going to be able to clean up those tanks. Going to be able to save his third base. Now, I think Finn's asking Sparkle for Season 3 confirmed. I don't know. I've not thought about it. It would be cool. But then again, Sparkle is kind of imbalanced. Like, it's a team league. It doesn't matter if it's imbalanced. But like, I don't know. It's tough because the trouble I'm having is where I work a full-time job as well. If I put maps in that the games usually last 40 minutes on average, I'm gonna be casting way too long each day. Like, if there's less teams next season, maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe there should be a donation incentive on Patreon to add to add Sparkle to the Season 3 map pool. Maybe that's what we should do. Yeah, it's only really rough CVP. But even then, Zerg versus Protoss late game, Devourers, Plague, and like late game I think Zerg have the edge. It's more Protoss that struggle I think on that map. Maybe I'm wrong. But it always feels like late game Zerg just beats late game Protoss. In terms of air, because Devourers and Muters and Scourge and Queens and Plague, it's just powerful. That's a good point, Zerg can't get there. When they do though, it's broken. It's completely topsy-turvy. Now we've got a fourth base coming up from Bai, still no base in this 9 o'clock position. I really would like to see him take this a lot sooner. Because essentially, the way this works, like Bai is going to be able to expand to this at any point in the game. It's not a big deal. But this 9 o'clock base, you won't be able to now. There's a lot of vultures heading towards this third base once again. And there's not that much defense here. Nice mines on those tanks. And yet again, Bai is going to find himself losing a ton of SCVs. And there is a very dangerous amount of mines over here in the top middle position. I'm kind of scared for that. And now it looks like a couple of mines went off on Astro's army here. So Astro is going to be the one heading to the 9 o'clock position. Bunch of tanks coming in through the dropship here. Going to be able to save the base at the very least, but not without losing most of the SCVs. Now we've got Bai pushing through the center of the map now, trying to take a position on top of this high ground. If he can hold this, where is Astro realistically going to expand to next? The only option is going to be that 9 o'clock base. And I don't think he's going to be able to take it. Do we have any starports building dropships? No, we're actually going for a mass wraith switch. +2 attack is on the way. Let's check the upgrades for Bai. Still only +1. +2 is almost done though. And when +2 finishes, Astro is completely out of time because he is not going to push anywhere on the ground once +2 finishes. But here come the wraiths. There's absolutely no anti-air anywhere for Bai. And this is the kind of swing that you need in TVT with these wraiths. You need to do critical damage to the siege lines. You need to break out somewhere. And he's going to have to catch these dropships. If these dropships get into his main, this could be a very, very bad situation. Now, Astro is down 30 supply almost. He's catching up now by killing these tanks in the middle of the map. But if this drop hits the main, look where this armory is. If +2 attack never finishes, Astro is going to have a 0 chance in this game. Oh, the Vulture doesn't see it, but there's no mines there either. This drop is going to get into the main, and where are the units? Astro's attacking with, I think, oh, he barely has any ground units right now. And look at this drop coming in on top of the armory. This armory is going to get targeted immediately. And there we go, look at this, the Goliaths are all targeting it. They know how important of a target this is. And I don't believe there's cloak. Yeah, there's no control tower. So these wraiths, I mean, they're not going to do too much. Looks like Astro lost a ton of his tanks pushing up the middle. And he has used this race to clear out the third base, but can he even defend his own main? There's so much stuff going on all over the map right now. I'm trying to keep an eye on what's happening. But the race's going to be pushed away by the Goliaths. Looks like the drop has done a ton of damage. It's killed the science facility, it's killed the starport. It's getting at the other starport as well. Luckily enough, it's not blocking the factories, but it's blocking one of the gases from being mined. There's not much left here. And he's still stuck. Like, he can't really expand anywhere still. And we do have turrets coming up to defend these tanks. But is it enough and is it quick enough? I just don't think it is. We've got a couple of tanks on this high ground. But they're not going to be able to hold against this many tanks from Bai. I think Bai has just checkmated his enemy with this drop. Astro just is not in a position to defend all of the stuff he has. And I mean, he doesn't really have that much for a TBT. I mean, Bai is up to 4 bases now. He's going up to a 5th over at the 3rd base. At the 3 o'clock expansion. The units of Bai are finally being cleaned up by Astro, but pretty much every engagement now is not going to go well for Astro because these 2-0 tanks, they're going to two-shot Astros, and if you don't have the right upgrades, you just can't ever trade efficiently in TBT. Now Bai is loading up for another big drop, and if this one gets in the main, this is 100% going to be game over. We'll have to see where he goes with it. Okay, it looks like we've got some vultures heading out onto the middle of the map. Astro is still continuing to try and get any damage he can done, but unfortunately, they're just... Even if you kill the SCVs, he just doesn't have the army to be able to defend this. Look, there's no units in his main again. The tanks are moving through the middle. Luckily enough, they've not been hit by mines, but there's already 5 dropships about to go into his main. All of the units, I mean, he's building 3 vultures at a time still. He's got so much gas, he needs to switch into tank production. And there's only a single turret here. Bai scanning everywhere. Vultures cleaning up all of the units in the 3rd, but unfortunately, look at this. The drop's going to go on top of the factories, and if your factories are being camped, that is it in TBT. It doesn't matter if you kill your opponent's expansions, because realistically, they still have production. They are very most likely going to have bank as well in TBT, so I mean, this is just it. Astro fought valiantly, but unfortunately, Bai is just too strong in this matchup. Look at this. I mean, you can really see the power of 2-0. Like, he's got 3-0 now. So, yeah, the upgrade's really not in favor anymore. There's so many Goliaths here. The Vultures are going to come out and do absolutely nothing. And that's game. Astro is down nearly 100 supply. He's got his 3rd base still mining, but it doesn't matter. GG, Astro taps out. And Bai takes game number 2 to tie up the series 1-1. Yeah, so that was a little bit unfortunate there for Astro. He got a little bit out positioned too many times, and just falling behind in the upgrades from that single drop, it just ended the game. Like, there was absolutely nothing he could have done from that point. Now we're going to go into a quick break, and when I get back, we'll be going into game number 3, which I believe is going to be a PvP, so don't go anywhere. See you guys soon. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 3 between NiCe and White Clan. We're currently tied 1-1. And it's pretty good so far. So we've had a really weird TVT, a pretty cool TVT, and now we're going to go into the other mirror. It's going to be a PvP, of course. So let's quickly introduce our map. It's going to be the one, the only Desperado. And pretty much one of my favorite maps in Season 2. We've had some amazing games here. PvP, we've already had 10 of them, so we've seen a lot. This seems to be a very popular map for Protoss. When you look at the PvZ and PvT stats, you might see why. Thank you, Badinho, for the host, man. 19 viewers, welcome. We're about to head into game number 3. It is going to be a PvP, but that's not to worry. Let's have a look at our players. We're going to have Master for NiCe, who says Milk was a bad choice. He's lost all of his games so far, so don't want to go too much into that. But he is the captain of their team, and his opponent going to be Jew, fighting for White Clan. He's beaten 3 players. He hasn't really played too much in Season 2. He played mostly in Season 1, but the last game he played on this map was a PvP where he beat Kingdom. So Master definitely going to have a tough opponent here. As we get into game number 3, it's Master versus Jew. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand position, we do have the red Protoss fighting for NiCe. It's Master. And thanks Badinho for the raid as well. I know, is the hosting still broken? That's kind of weird. And his opponent spawning over here in the bottom right hand position is the brown Protoss fighting for White Clan. It's Jew. Now I noticed slowly but surely we're starting to fill up. We've not had too many viewers so far this series, but the next series, I think a lot of people maybe weren't willing to tune into this too much because NiCe is kind of an unknown team. White Clan are obviously super duper strong. I don't think anyone would really expect NiCe to have taken a game off of White, but this still has the opportunity of going to an ace match, so don't really go anywhere because it could still be cool. And after this, we've got RK versus DM, which should be a lot cool. Oh, which should be good. Yeah, it is a lot of mirrors. I know a lot of people aren't massive fans of mirror matchups, but part of me really wants to do this. Like, because it's a mirror, we have to, how do we do this? We have to mirror the game. Let's cast backwards, guys. Let's do it. No, that's a really bad idea. Oh my god, that would be awful. Before I started up the cast, I was thinking a way of flipping the whole thing, and then essentially like not only casting or not only like playing it backwards, but also trying to talk backwards as well. The best thing is, Invidentia said like casting backwards looks like it Russian text. The funny thing for me is I was trying really badly to like work out how to cast backwards, like talk backwards, and when I was practicing I just sounded like I was trying to put on a shitty Russian accent, and I was like, oh my god. So let's just let's go with what I was practicing. It was like it's like what was it? Naret, Susrev Naret, Sotrop, Surev, Sotrop, and Grez, Susrev, Grez for Zerg versus Zerg. Also, CRBT going in with the BSL like memes with, was it Pure Toss? I think his name was. Account sharing. Oh no, it was Nation Wars, wasn't it? Now, in terms of actual gameplay, I know I've been finding it really, really difficult to actually concentrate. I've been like talking to you guys a lot, but we've got 2 gate versus 1. We didn't see any major damage done by either player early on, so that's fine. The 2 gate player is obviously going to have an advantage a little bit later on, but we are going to have Ju going for a robo very, very quickly. Now, if you've not seen this map before, there is 2 gases in your main. So that's pretty good. Oh yeah, I guess it is technically a BSL meme as well, because they banned Pure Toss after what happened in Nation Wars. Essentially, if you don't know, guys, he was account sharing. Now, the sad thing is if there was a Korean team, no one would have account shared. Now, I know a lot of people are like, "Hey man, Koreans are too strong. We can't allow Koreans in." But when you look at STPL, over the last nearly 2 years, it's been like a year and 3/4. I think it's like a year and 3/4 since I started STPL again. Players are getting a lot better, both the Koreans and the foreign players. The foreign players are taking a lot more games off the Koreans than they did in the beginning of Season 1. And it's really showing that if players play together enough, we can bridge that gap. It's going to be difficult, but there's a lot of people in the Korean scene who want to help bridge that gap as well. Castamuse is going to be casting STPL in Korean. I am organizing something with Bishop, the leader of Hammock. I'm not going to announce what that is yet, but that should be a lot of fun. That'll be coming up likely in January or February, so that should be good. And overall, like, if we can get people sharing information, because the major thing that Koreans benefit from is having the top pros and their information, because they have all the learning resources. They've got lots of tutorial videos that non-Koreans can't understand. But the more Koreans that speak English who want to get involved more in the foreign scene, the more likely that is to get translated, because I know it's hard to believe, but a lot of Korean amateurs don't actually have that bad English. Like, obviously Scared is almost native English because he lived in the US for so long, but even Bishop has got pretty good English as well. A lot of it is just usually written and read, but like, that's all that really matters. Now, we've got both players going for an expansion here. We do have both players going for Observatory as well. Neither player can really push into each other super quickly, so this should get a little bit... This should be a little bit better. Now, Avi, I know you're saying having an income from Africa, permanent turn rate, 24 ladder games, and short queues. While that is true for 2 of them, in terms of permanent turn rate, 24 ladder games, and short queues, amateur Koreans don't earn that much money. Like, people... I've tried to explain this before, but one of the things people misunderstand is they think that amateurs in Korea make as much as the pros do. Amateurs in Korea barely get any viewers. Like, say, take 80s Mullet or myself, for example. Like, when I'm playing ladder, I'll get like 30 viewers. Like, Eon Zerg gets like 90, because obviously he's a top level foreign player. And it's kind of like that, but multiplied in Korea, because even though like someone like Scan is very, very, very good, compared to Flash, like, people are gonna just watch Flash, you know? And yeah, it looks like Ju hasn't got his mineral allocation very well, so he's overmining on one side. Now, in terms of gateway count, we do have 2 gateways still. Robo support bay is done, and he is going for speed on his shuttle, which is very, very important. An observer seeing everything that's going on in his opponent's base, gonna see there is a Robo with shuttle speed. Avi, you would be surprised. I've been speaking to a lot of people about this, man, because I'm really interested in, like, bridging the gap between the 2 communities, because I think it's beneficial to everyone. But spawn games, like, lower level players very rarely get to take part in them. The only real amateur that gets to take part in a lot of them is Soma. Because Soma is obviously kind of like on a level to another level to all of the other amateurs right now. So there's kind of a very top-heavy system for the amateurs in Korea right now. Like Soma will make quite a bit of money, but someone like Bishop, he'll do well in tournaments. Like he plays in pretty much all of the amateur tournaments. He even runs his own one. He's the one who runs Hammock, but I don't think he makes that much money, like if at all. But there we go. Looks like we are going to have an engagement here. Ju coming in, trying to face Master, but Master with a very, very good position. But look at this, 2 Reavers in the main. Going to be doing a lot of damage while Master is busy trying to deal with the army. Can't see the kills on them, but there is a ton of dead probes in this main. Now, Master did get a better end of the engagement at the beginning, but losing a lot of probes is definitely going to be a massive issue. And the Dragoons are not coming home. This is going to be an all-in attack here from Master. Look at those. The probes all being pulled into the Reavers. And there's just nothing back home to defend. Master is going to bet everything on this attack. Can he get in? Can he break through? It doesn't look like he's going to be able to. And this could very well have been a big mistake to not try and defend his bases. Now Master is going to try and expand to the top left main. He does have his own Reavers coming along, so maybe he can hold on with those. But Ju's position is very strong now. He's almost doubling supply his opponent. 13 kills, 14 kills. Wow, 27 kills overall. Rest in peace to Rapid as well, as Ju is going to be taking a 3rd base over his corpse. But he will mind meld with me in the bottom left, so it's fine. And as Invidentia says, he did win the battle, but he did lose the war. Master did a good job in that engagement, but unfortunately he got picked apart. Ju coming in at the perfect opportunity, going in while his opponent was busy. Now Master has a chance at doing some counter damage here. Oh, the Reaver Shoal goes down. That's a massive loss for Ju. And now Master's position, even though he is behind, doesn't look nearly as bad. He's got his own Reaver in the main. Oh my god! Oh, all of the probes getting stuck there on the gateway, all of them going down. That was a massive amount of damage to be taking now if this Reaver. 7 kills. Oh my god, he got another like 7 or something there. That's crazy. But Master going to try and hide up the top of this ramp. Can he hold on against Ju's army? He needs to hold the ramp though. He can't move too far back. Now an observer is coming in. Master needs to be closer to the ramp here. He's going to let all of Ju's army up, unfortunately. Now, there's no additional drops coming in from Master or Ju right now, so the probes are going to be pulled away again. Master is still at a supply deficit. Ju with a great engagement, despite the fact he's going from low ground to high ground. The Nexus is just finished, essentially, so that is going to go down. And unfortunately, I think... Oh my god, DT is going into the main as well. Adding insult to injury. Wait. How did that DT not one-shot that probe? What on earth? Was that a god probe? Wait. What? How did that happen? I wanna look at that again. I wanna see what happened to that probe. I'm gonna reload this part of the replay. So I'm back at the right position, essentially. Let's go back into the game just very quickly. Now it's okay, so it's gonna go through all the spiel with all of the overlays and stuff again, because that's how that works. Well, melee units, as well as everything else, I think do have that global, like, 1 in 256% chance of missing. But I don't think I've ever seen a DT miss. At least not like that. Anyway, let's have a look. So the DT runs in. Let's slow it down just a little bit. What? Do DTs do one-shot probes, right? He's got armor. Wait, what? That is so weird. I just did not notice the fact he had armor there, because who would have armor in that situation? Oh my god, I'm so blind. I didn't even notice he had armor. I thought it was like a god DT or something. A god probe even. Yeah, CRVT makes a good point. Like, how and why would you upgrade it before armor? Before attack even? I have no idea. You know what? I don't actually know. Now, I thought the last game was going to be a ZVZ, but it is in fact going to be a TVZ. Giella looks like he plays TVZ instead, so I'm going to quickly sort out the overlay as we go into a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be heading into game number 4, which is going to be a TVZ between Giella and Sak. Now, Sak is not the Terran, nor is he the pro, just to confuse things, so I'll be back in a moment. See you guys soon.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it will add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does. Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage? Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does. All that and more. Only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon.com/kick. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 4 between White Clan and NiCe. White Clan are currently up on match point here as we get into our 4th map. It's going to be Neo Outlier. Now, this is going to be a TVZ instead of the ZVZ that I thought it was going to be. It's actually 1-for-1. Tied for both Terran and Zerg on this map against each other. The TVZs we've sent here so far have been pretty fun. So hopefully this one will be as well. Now, starting us off for NiCe, we're going to have Giella. He's not played a game just yet, but he does have a very, very confident quote. He said, "Here's the deal. I'm the best there is. Plain and simple. I wake up in the morning and I see excellence." I'm sure that's a quote from something, but I don't know what it is. Hit him up. Are you saying like everything is too cheap? Because I might just up it. but it's kind of cool. You can always like ask me questions. It's fine. And his opponent going to be for white. It's going to be Sak. Now, Sak is a Zerg player. It's not the ex-SK Telecom Terran. He's currently still in the army, and he's not on white clan. But it is going to be a Zerg player fighting for white. So let's get into game number 4. It's Gyella versus Sak, and it's going to be here on Neo Outlier. Okay, starting us off here in the bottom left-hand position, we do have the red Terran fighting for NiCe. It's Gyella. And his opponent spawning off down here in the bottom right-hand position. We do have the blue Zerg fighting from South Korea as well. It's Sak fighting from White Clan. So it's going to be a TVZ. That's good. Okay, so apparently I definitely need to up the amount it costs to do things because the whole chat is purple right now. I don't think I can do that while this is going on. I probably should focus on the game, but maybe when we go into the break between the series, we'll have a look. But it doesn't look like we've got anything too crazy coming in from either player. I think we're going to have a 12 hatch coming in from Sak. No, it's going to be a 12 pool. Okay, 12 pool in TVZ or ZVT. Not really sure I understand the benefit of this, but I guess you can go for gas very quickly. Yeah, so it is. It's 12 hatch. Sorry, 12 pool. 12 gas. Is this going to be like some crazy one base player, or is this just going to be for like a weird ling all in? Seems a bit weird to do it that way, but I guess we'll find out. And also maybe it's only a problem because you guys love watching the STPL so much you stay here a long time. And Hit 'em Up is saying 12 pool gas expand is the quickest way to 2 hatch mute, I believe. Abby would know better. I wouldn't say that, Hit 'em Up, because you may inflate his ego a little bit. And Abby's ego, like if you try and inflate it a little bit more, I don't know if you guys ever played that mini game in WarioWare micro games on the GameCube, but there's one where you have to inflate the balloon. And it's kind of like that. If you inflate it too much, it's going to explode. I'm only kidding. I like you, Abby. It's all good. Water under the bridge. Everyone is making their messages purple now. So Mindflayer just redeemed and asked me anything to say, what is this? So essentially, channel points are a new update they put in where you can use it to get emotes temporarily, and you can do basically whatever the streamer puts in. It doesn't cost you anything, and they just tick up from you watching. And Fake Finn is just kind of overloading on all the channel points because he's worried I'm going to take his ability to spend them away. It's all good though. Right, so we have a 2 hatch muteless play coming in. If Hit 'em Up is to be believed, which I'm fairly certain he is, this is the quickest way you can go for it with an expansion. So Sak going to be building a creep colony up here. Going to be super important to get that sunken because it looks like Gyella is just trying to push with a ton of just... Oh, he's going for an all-in. Okay, here we go. He's pulling the boys. There's going to be a lot of Marines heading up here, but they are going to run into their death. Does need to be careful. But with these SCVs here, unless Sak does perfect targeting here... Wait. Oh, he wasn't pulling the boys. He was just transferring to his expansion. What the hell am I going on about? Abby just called me inflating the prices. Venezuela Gate 2.0. I think that's a little bit too serious to joke about. Venezuela's political situation right now is not good, and there are a lot of people suffering. But it is kind of funny. Not Venezuela, obviously. Oh my god. That came out horribly. I meant your comment. That was quite possibly the worst thing I could have said. The thing is, on one of the forums I've been a member of for a while, okay, I'm gonna have to I'll answer this when we wait. Yella's just going in, man. Like, Yella's a Zerg main, and it feels like he just feels like Marines are just overpowered, so he's like, I'm just gonna push in with just Marines. I don't need medics. Marines are strong units. And okay, now we're slowing down a little bit. To answer the question, Abby asked, would you rather date an ugly girl with a cute cat or a cute girl with an ugly cat? Well, given as what Hit 'em Up said is true, there are no ugly cats. I will date the cute girl with the ugly cat, because either way the cat will be cute. Where are the medics? Gellert just believes Marines are king. That's it. That's my headcanon. There's no turrets, just Marines. And that's it. I feel sorry for Geller here because he is getting annihilated. But I kind of feel like he's overinvested in the ideas of, wow, the Marines actually killed a Mutalisk. Okay. There's a couple of medics here. This is going to help. Does he even have any upgrades? Stim isn't done. No upgrades yet. You can definitely tell Geller has just pulled in and subbed in for someone, because I mean, this is clearly not a prepared build by Geller. I think Geller's just kind of like subbing in for someone who didn't show up, which I've got a lot of respect for. But Invidentia says Geller's playing without the Brood War expansion. Yeah, Geller's just trying to hold on here. This is a little bit unfortunate, but when you summon someone last minute, when you have to play a different race as well, it can be a little bit... Now that could have been a really good repair, but unfortunately the 4th SCV decided it didn't want to go to work today. So unfortunately the Mutalists are going to continue wreaking havoc on Geller's base. And yeah, this is unfortunately a little bit tragic here for Geller, but respect for him subbing in. It's not an easy thing to do, especially not playing another race. Like, he is playing... Essentially, if I was to play Zerg, it would look how Geller is playing Terran, where I'm like, well, Lings always kill me, so if I just keep building Lings, I'll win, right? And I'll just keep building Lings. I'll build like 4 spawning pools or something, and I'll just get mass Lings. And yeah, I know I did say 4 spawning pools. Now, Sack is kind of just playing with his food right now, and I kind of feel a bit guilty that I'm watching this game. But there we go, Geller taps out, GG. Sack takes game number 4, and he takes the series for White Clan 3-1. Now, as I said, I do feel a little bit guilty over watching that game, because it's quite clear that Geller was subbing in for someone. He did his best, but unfortunately, when you're not sure... do I sound really nasally, by the way? I feel really nasally. Essentially, when you're not sure what you're doing as another race, it's very, very difficult. And to come out and do it in the tournament, there's a lot of respect to be had there. So that is going to be a win for White Clan. I think that's what everyone was expecting. But they didn't get a clean sweep, so that's definitely unexpected. Let's have a quick look at the result. And there we go. So Essen took game number 1 with his patented Neo-Arkanoid build that I'm fairly certain someone is going to have to beat at some point. Bai took down Astro, Ju took down Master, and Sack took down Geller. And essentially, that's going to be the end of series number 1. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with series number 2. Just going to throw up a break And we will see you guys, or I will see you guys very soon. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be IRK versus DM. Should be a